Welcome back to my channel. I'm Blair if you're new here. Today I'm actually going to do spring cleaning of my house. Obviously I do clean my house once a week just to vacuum, dust, clean toilets, sinks, that kind of thing, the pretty basic stuff. But today I need to do my deep clean of the entire house. So I've made a checklist. I'll kind of put it here on the screen so you can see it. But basically I do the things that I wouldn't do on a regular basis. I try to do this twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. And then because I do live in an older house and I am in the South, not to gross anyone out, but I do get bugs in the house quite frequently in those seasons where we're flip-flopping. So I do have to spray my house, twice a year. But before I do that, I always do a deep clean because I spray like baseboards and air vents and stuff like that. And I don't want the dust and dog hair and things that I haven't been cleaning up on a regular basis to stick to it. So I'm going to do a deep clean. I am going to break this into three parts, because obviously there's a lot to do and I don't want to bore you by showing it all in one video. But I'm going to break it down in two parts. So this first video here, I'm going to do the office, the living room, and the dining room. I like to start with those three rooms because they're the main rooms I spend most of my time in. But also there's curtains that are hung up in those rooms, and I like to take those down to start and get them in the washer. I do not dry them because I don't want to cause them to shrink, because they are cheap IKEA curtains. So I just wash them and then hang them back up and let them air dry. But this also helps to kind of allow it to de-wrinkle because it's already hanging the weight. And because they're nice and clean, it does make the house smell good. So please forgive my appearance. I know I look kind of messy right now. It is a day that I was going to shower, but I figured I might as well go ahead and get the cleaning done first, and then shower when I'm all done. So I'm going to start with those three rooms. That's going to consist of baseboards, crown molding, corners. We're going to vacuum those off. I need to do ceiling fans. I try to do the blinds, like in the office, for instance. I think that's the only room out of those three. And then windowsills, and I try to wipe the windows down. Now, I only typically do the inside. I don't normally do outside windows. When we get to that, I'll explain that part. And then once I'm all done with that type of stuff, then I will go ahead and spray for bugs, let that dry. And then I'll go back, because I do pull out all furniture, vacuum underneath so I can spray behind it, and then put all the furniture back. So let's get started with those three rooms. I'm going to get the curtains down first, and then we'll start by working ceiling down. So I'll do ceiling fans, upper crown molding, corners, and then we'll go down to the floor. So let's get started and I'll show you what I'm doing.
You've been running around in my head. I can't stop drinking about what comes next. Girl, I know you've been let down a couple times. Why don't you go ahead and give us a try? Let me through, yeah. Girl, I dare you to move a little closer, closer, and I just wanna hold you.
Okay, so I'm gonna start in the office because I like to do one room at a time. Now, when I do this, I typically try to pull the furniture to the center of the room as I'm cleaning. That way, when I'm done with the room, I will spray for bugs, let it sit, and then I'll come back and put furniture away once it's dried some. Again, I live in an older house. There's some areas where the floors slope a little bit, so when I spray, it may kind of move downhill a little bit, and I do have to clean those up. But let's get started pulling what I can out and start with the ceiling fan.
I wanna wrap you up in my arms, so make some space next to your heart. Now to take it slower, slower, and I just wanna show you. And even though you're right next to me, it feels like miles in between. You take a chance, girl, I dare you. Move a little closer, closer.
Okay, so I'm gonna spray because I've done crown molding, the ceiling fan, baseboards, and behind the furniture I'm willing to move. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll move into the living room, and the curtains are done, so I'm trying to rush so I can get them hung up before they start to dry.
Some things are better left unsaid. Let's leave the past in the past, wherever he is. And you got walls built up like Jericho, and I kinda hope that you let it go. Nothing left to do, girl, I dare you to move a little closer, closer, and I just wanna hold you, hold you. I wanna wrap you up in my arms, so make some space next to your heart, down and take it slower, slower. And I just wanna show you, show you. And even though you're right next to me, it feels like miles in between. Take a chance, girl, I dare you. Move a little closer, closer. Move a little closer, closer. Not in a rush, can't get enough, baby, it's cool. We're doubling down, 'cause now you're daring me to move a little closer, closer, and I just wanna hold you, hold you. I wanna wrap you up in my arms, so make the space. Move a little closer, closer, and I just wanna hold you.
Okay, so I just finished spraying, getting the curtains, all that stuff's done in the living room. And the way I do this so I don't end up killing myself all day, I usually go back to the previous room once I've sprayed that room and then put the furniture back in here. And I just kind of keep doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my office put back together furniture-wise. And then we'll move to the dining room.
Wrap you up in my arms, so make some space next to your heart, down and take it slower, slower. And I just want to show you, show you. And even though you're right next to me, it feels like miles in between. But take a chance, girl, I dare you. Closer, closer. Move a little closer, closer. Yeah, closer, closer. Hey, a little closer, You've been running around in my head. I can't stop drinking about what comes next. Girl, I know you've been let down a couple times. Why don't you go ahead and give us a try? Let me through, yeah. Girl, I dare you to move a little closer, closer. And I just wanna hold you, hold you. I wanna wrap you up in my arms, so make some space next to your heart, down and take it slower, slower.
Once again, I have finished the dining room spraying, so I'm gonna kind of put the living room back together so it can finish drying. And it always helps to turn on the ceiling fans. That way it can kind of help dry any excess fluid sitting around. So let's try to start putting this room back together.
I just wanna show you, show you. And even though you're right next to me, it feels like miles in between. You take a chance, girl, I dare you. Move a little closer, closer. Some things are better left unsaid. Let's leave the past in the past.
So on this side, I'm gonna wait to put this back because you can see how it like kind of ran down and it's puddling. So I'm gonna see if it'll dry some more. And then if not, I'll have to come back with like a piece of paper towel to dry it up. I will also say that a lot of times when I'm completely done with this, even though I cleaned the house yesterday, I'm gonna have to go back through and kind of vacuum floors and carpets just to clean up any mess, like dust that came off stuff when I was cleaning. So now that we're done with everything but the dining room, because there's not a ton of furniture, I usually just put that one back right away and let it dry, because it's not like there's anything I have to worry about sitting in it. So I'm gonna put that back together.
Just wherever he is. And you got walls built up like Jericho. And I kinda hope that you let it go. Nothing left to do. And girl, I dare you to move a little closer, closer. And I just wanna hold you, hold you. I wanna wrap you up in my arms. So make
All right, I'm gonna put the curtains back down. Everything else I think has been pretty much put back.
space next to your heart, down and take it slower.
All right. And then I'm gonna hang my decorations back up.
Slower, and I just wanna show you.
So I'm basically done with the office, living room, and dining room. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here and then stay tuned for part 2, which will be kitchen.